That was it. That was a drawing I made of my PPG OC. Why did I show you that? I have no clue. Okay. Oh, and if you guys are wondering why you're watching this video, maybe you got interested in the name, and, and also, I'm wearing toe socks. Toe, 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 toe. And also, real handy, huh? I suck at making jokes. Just a sec. Yeah, I dropped the phone. Okay, I'm turning on the Wii. For some reason, I have no clue why. That's the second time I said clue in this video. YouTube, start. Jesus, ring. No, it's not the ring from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It's just the regular ring. I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those rings that can tell what you're feeling, like an emotion ring thing. There. My pink gloves. Oh, finally it loaded. Sorry, I'm just... I've seen this video before, but it was only once, and it's the newest Creepy World, posted by Mullet Mike. So here's my second reaction. Creepy World. Episode 4. Gateway of the Mind. I've heard of this before.
Gateway of the Mind is an urban legend that has been passed around for years. There's been a lot of
I've only heard of it for a couple months.
Is in fact true. Many claim that it is, or at least based on actual events. Whether fact or fiction, I say that all myths and urban legends stem from some form of truth.
Okay.
I will now read to you the story in its entirety. In 1983, a team of scientists conducted a radical experiment in an undisclosed facility. The scientists had theorized that a human without access to any senses or ways to perceive stimuli would be able to perceive the presence of God. They believed that the five senses clouded our awareness of eternity.
Oh, and also, if Mullet Mike is watching this, can you do the Jeff the Killer.
To have, quote, nothing left to live
There have
for,
been sightings
the
of Jeff
only
the
test
Killer, so
subject
yeah.
To volunteer.
Well, Mike,
To purge
please
him of all of his
do
senses,
Jeff the
scientists
Killer.
perform a complex
That's
operation
that.
in which every
Wow,
sensory
I
nerve
just
connected
requested
to the
in a
brain
video. Who
was
hasn't done that
surgically
before?
severed.
No one.
Although the
No
test
one done that
subject
before.
retained full
My
muscular
English.
function, he
No
could
one
not
has
see,
done that before
hear,
in a video,
taste,
but I just
smell,
did that.
or feel, with no possible way to communicate with or even sense the outside world. He was alone with his own thoughts.
Plus, these are connected to my
Scientists
to what I'm filming with,
spoke
so
aloud
yeah.
about his state of mind in jumbled, slurred sentences that he couldn't even hear. After 4 days, the man claimed to be hearing hushed, unintelligible voices in his head. Assuming it was all
That's
an offset of
insanity, dude.
psychosis, the scientists paid little attention to the man's concerns. 2 days later, the man cried that he could hear his dead wife speaking with him. And even more, he could communicate back. The scientists were intrigued, but were not convinced until the subject started naming dead relatives of the scientists themselves. He repeated personal information to the scientists that only their dead spouses and parents would have known. At this point, a sizable portion of the scientists left the study. After a week of conversing with the deceased through his thoughts, the subject became distressed, saying that voices were overwhelming. In every waking moment, his conscience was bombarded by hundreds of voices that refused to leave him alone. He frequently threw himself against the wall, trying to elicit a pain response. He begged the scientists for sedatives so he could escape the voices by sleeping. This tactic worked for 3 days until he started having severe night terrors. The subject repeatedly said that he could see and hear the deceased in his dreams. It was only a day later when the subject began to scream and claw at his non-functional eyes, hoping to sense something in the physical world. The hysterical subject now said the voices of the dead were deafening and hostile, speaking of hell and the end of the world. At one point, he yelled, quote, "No heaven, no forgiveness," for 5 hours straight. He continually begged to be killed, but the scientists were convinced that he was close to establishing contact with God. After another day, the subject could no longer form coherent sentences. Seemingly mad, he started to bite off chunks of flesh from his arm. The scientists rushed into the test chamber and restrained him to a table so that he could not kill himself. After a few hours of being tied down, the subject halted his struggling and screaming. He stared blankly at the ceiling as teardrops silently streaked across his face. For 2...
I'm filming something.
Well, hurry up, because I want my phone. And I want you to walk on my back.
Blah.
I come in here while you were watching videos, and I told you I want my phone soon. So...
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because you kept your normal little attitude. I mean, like, within a couple of minutes, I want my phone.
Okay. Yay, that made it a minute longer. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, Grouch. I don't have to let you use my phone. In fact, don't ask me for it for tomorrow.
That will be hard.
The subject had to be manually rehydrated due to the constant crying. Eventually, he turned his head and, despite the blindness, made focused eye contact with a scientist for the first time in the study. He whispered, I have spoken with God, and he has abandoned us.
No wonder God lets us go to war. And of course I'm being sarcastic. Wait, shortly after his haunting words, the patient died suddenly, blah, blah, blah. Creepypastas. In their friggin' settings. No ending? Seriously? No outro? Whoa, what the... Well, thanks to Mom. She made this 11 minutes and I wanted it to be 10. Thanks, Mom. Why is this in here? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Whatever, blah, blah. Subscribe, like, and comment. I haven't been getting comments, so fucking comment.